Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to help you with your Xbox Series X and your PlayStation 5 in terms of settings and gear to get the best performance and gameplay out of your system. So let's delve right in. So we are with the Xbox Series X right now, so we're going to look at some settings with this console. So go into your settings, and the first thing that you want to do, you want to go into your TV and display options, and then we want to then go to our resolution and set our resolution to the highest. So right now I have a 1440p monitor that enables 120 refresh rates up to 140 refresh rates, so it's higher than what the consoles allow, which is amazing. So you want to set it to the highest resolution, and then you want to set your refresh rate to the highest refresh rate, which basically means that every second, how much is it refreshing? So it's refreshing 120 times per second. That's what refresh rate does. And the resolution, we want to have 1440p to get the max resolution out of our image while playing our games. So that's what we're going to do. And then we want to then go to video fidelity and overscan, and then we want to change our color depth to the highest color depth. So right here I've got 36 bits per pixel, so that means that we're getting the best color range for our gameplay. And then we want to go to video modes, and we want to have a look at our settings, make sure that 50 Hertz is allowed. We want to have variable refresh rate selected, HDR10, auto HDR. The reason why I have HDR enabled is because I have a HDR monitor, but also you want to get yourself a HDR monitor because it allows better colors, better gameplay, better resolutions, all sorts. So it's going to look better for your image overall to have HDR gameplay. And then also if we go into our games such as Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is an amazing game, however, we want to then go into our options, and then we can actually go into our graphics modes and have a look at that. So basically we could select 4K at 120 frames per second, which is the actual highest resolution that we can get for this monitor. But if we click, we can actually go super sampled 6K at 60 frames per second. We could focus on the frames per second, or we could focus on the resolution. For this monitor, I would say 4K at 120 frames per second would be better, because we can get the more frames per second, and we don't need the 6K because the monitor does not display at 6K. We can only display at 1440p, so it doesn't matter with the resolution. So we want to get the max amount of frames per second for our gameplay. So let's do 4K at 120 frames per second. We can just keep the sharpness, brightness, and contrast the same. If you see anything odd with the gameplay, then maybe change your contrast, but we want to keep it at just the basic, just 100 for each of those. And then we also have the HDR enabled selections. So we've got base brightness, contrast, UI brightness, richness, and shadow detail. So we can actually keep those as they are and not try and mess around with those too much. We can actually change the shadows and the details. That's what HDR allows us to do. It allows us to have more options for our gameplay in terms of the actual resolution and how the game actually looks overall. So this is the settings that we have for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So let's play some of it and I'll show you how it all looks. Alright, so now that we've done the Xbox Series X, now we can do the PlayStation 5. So basically with the PlayStation 5, if we were to go into our settings, we can go into our screen and video, but everything is automatically done for us. That's what's amazing about the PlayStation 5. They just have automatic resolution and output settings already made for you. So basically, if we were to test the output, it'll already be at 1440p, and we can test our resolutions to make sure that it's the right resolution for us. And now it has officially just corrected its output to make sure that's right. So you can select all the different settings and make sure that you have all the right outputs and hertz and everything, so it's good. So the main thing that you want to change with the PlayStation 5 is the actual gameplay settings inside the game. So if we were, for example, to go into Ratchet and Clank, if we were to go into the gameplay settings, we can actually change our resolutions and stuff like that through here. So we can go to our settings and then go to HDR on, make sure that's turned on. We go to graphics mode. This is where we can change it from fidelity mode to performance mode. So that will display 30 frames per second with graphical features like ray tracing, all that sort of stuff, which is basically the lighting and the reflections from the windows. We've got performance RT mode, which has 60 frames per second, and it includes ray tracing, so that's really solid, but it presents a lower resolution picture with adjusted lighting. So basically you'll get lower resolution, but you'll get ray tracing and 60 frames per second, whereas performance mode will also allow 60 frames per second, but this one will remove the ray tracing. If you go to high fidelity mode, you'll get lower frames per second, but you'll get ray tracing and all that sort of stuff. Performance RT mode will have 60 frames per second with ray tracing. In performance mode, we'll have 60 frames per second, but no ray tracing. So it's up to you. I think fidelity mode is okay. It's all about the frames per second, so it is good to get the 60 frames per second. Most frames per second would be good. And you have the highest hertz. So for here, we have the 120 hertz display. Yeah, so we're gonna choose performance RT, so we get the highest frames per second with ray tracing included. So that's gonna allow us to have the best sort of display. So we're getting all the ray tracing, like that sort of stuff, where you're getting the shadows. With the PlayStation 5, it's just making sure that we have the right resolutions and the right settings inside of the gameplay. It's mainly the gameplay that you will adjust the settings for, not actually much else. So if we go into options, for example, go into the display options for this, we can actually change the UI brightness as well. You can see a lot of difference there. I might put that up to 50 for this one. This is Ghost of Tsushima, by the way. Performance, we got the high resolution, or we could choose the better frame rate. Probably gonna do the better resolution. So with our display options, we've got a few different choices with the performance. So we've got the high resolution, or we have the better frame rate. So before that was the high resolution. So we'll check out the better frame rate and see if it makes a difference. The other option, so the high resolution option, I kind of preferred. It looked a bit nicer to me. The reason why I chose this game is because it's one of the most beautiful games to be on the PlayStation 5. It looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, let's actually get a close-up of some of these games and just enjoy some of the gameplay with some of these settings.
Stay away, my lord. The spirits of vengeful samurai haunt this forest.
Why are you spouting nonsense?
It's true. This was once a place of refuge. Now, all who enter the forest are never seen again.
We're at war. People go missing.
But even the Mongols fear this place. Wait until nightfall, my lord. That's when death stalks the forest.
After tonight, you won't need to spin tales of murderous spirits.
I pray you are right, my lord.
Sacred forest, their home. But the spirits of the samurai who protect these woods were angered. The last warrior of Clan Sakai heard their anguished howls.
You rid the forest of the killers, and the spirits of the fallen samurai were grateful. A good story. As if the samurai spirits summoned you here to save their forest.
Out with you boys because I thought you liked action. Couple of days on the lam, you lot have all turned yellow. Apart from you, of course.
Shut up, Micah.
I ain't never seen so many long faces.
I guess folks miss them. That fell.
But when I fall, I don't want no fuss.
When you fall, there'll be a party.
What's that? Tracks. Horses, quite a few of them. As far as I can tell, the only fools out here are us and them. They must be this way.
You good, Dutch?
Here it goes, dirty hands, sweaty clothes, every routine that I've learned to understand and know, play my tricks. Fragile mind, risk your head on me. Shut my eyes, I'm not here. There must be some mistake. Don't be so sad.
So we just went through some of the best settings for the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. If you guys have any tips, recommendations yourselves, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.